Fussell, the engineer here at Mallett Building. Just here on Monday to talk to you for a while, tell you what's going on, what I've been up to, and give you some information about Mallett buildings and some of the ones that have just been built and some of the ones that have been built in the past you might be interested in. And so, you know, it's that time of the year. It's summertime. It's getting to be summertime. The love bugs have appeared, and the heat has happened. I went, as you know, I go fishing a lot in the afternoons in the ponds that are in my subdivision. And the last couple of days, so I go right at sundown because that's when the fish bite. And I've noticed it's kind of hot out there. Not too hot, but I kind of sweat. And it just means summer in Louisiana is coming. And it rained 2 days in a row at my house, which is a welcome thing for the plants and the grass and everybody else, and the fish. And then the other thing that's happening is college baseball is heating up. I got my LSU jersey on, and you know, as you probably know, LSU's not doing that great in baseball this year, but there's always people to watch in the Southeastern Conference. I really pull for the Southeastern Conference a lot. I don't have that many teams in the Southeastern Conference that I just won't pull for. And I know Texas A&M has a very good team this year, which will make my cousins from Nederland and Port Arthur happy. And they can really hit the baseball. We watched them a little while this weekend, and I think both games that we watched parts of, they were knocking the ball out the park. And so it's that time of the year. And so to tell you a little bit of what I've been doing, so one thing, this is a project for Todd Wells in St. Tammany Parish that we're working on. And as you can see, it's a barn dough, and that's what it looks like. They're in the process of building it. And he's at the point where he needs to get his rough end for his plumbing passed by the permit department. When the inspector showed up, the inspector was mistaken and said that too much fill dirt had been placed. And as you can see over here in this corner, the amount of fill is just under 5 feet. And so I went out there and checked it with a laser level, and then I looked at the drainage plan that I had turned in for Mr. Wells, and lo and behold, it looked just like that. And so I told Mr. Wells to talk to somebody else at the permit department. Anyway, it all got straightened out, and he's able to move on with his project. The significant thing to note about that, and where Mallett is likely different than our competitors, is Mallett has an engineer that will help you through these little bumps, these little snags that'll keep you from getting your building built, because that's what I do for a living for lots of people. And sometimes it just takes a call, it takes some direction to know how to navigate this twisty-turny permit department that we face in all parishes in the state. And so that's one project. So this is a close-up of Mr. Wells at the corner post, and this goes back to what I was talking about last week. The great thing about the Mallett building compared to a steel building is that this looks like a house. That looks like a corner that you'd see on a house. And the wood framing just fits a house much better than steel framing. There again, it just fits. It's a close up of that of the front there. And now Now this project, I'll just show you a photo of that because when I'm driving in from the east, I pass this project. It's right out on the interstate outside of Crowley. And so, and there it is being built. You'll notice right around the Crowley exit, I think it's east of the Crowley exit, on the south side of the interstate, there's a big pond, and you'll see our Mallett building if you pass by that area. And so that's why I wanted to show you that. And this, I wanted to just talk a little bit about, really everybody in our sales area is in barndo land. That is, they're in a rural section of the country. Now, even if you live in a city or a town or a village, depending on the population, you're just a stone's throw away from barndo land. We all live with rural areas all around us, and that's where most of our projects are built. And so I have lived my whole life on the I-10, I-12 corridor. And so I grew up in Pascagoula, Mississippi, which is right on I-10 in Mississippi. And we would, lots of weekends, we would spend driving to my grandparents' house. And one of my grandparents lived right over here. So this is the big town of Bogalusa, and this is the big town of Franklinton. And one of my grandmothers lived right around here. The road that she lived on is named after my grandfather, Murphy Tony Road. And that's why bad things happen to me, because my grandfather invented Murphy's Law. Yeah. So that's where one of my grandparents lived. And then my other grandparents lived way over here. This is, let's see, I think this is the big town of Kentwood, and my other grandparents lived somewhere up in here. No, over here, yeah. Well, you'll notice both of these places, it's very rural, I mean, Bogalusa is a small town, Franklinton's a small town, Kentwood's a small town. And so you get just outside of those and, it's just country. And, but most of our area is like that. And so that's why barndos are so popular, because they fit the land that we live in. And the other thing I wanted to mention about barndos, so I really think, and I can't get too specific about this, because anytime I get specific, somebody argues with me. It's just, and whether it's you guys that listen to me or my wife or whoever it is, it's just, you get specific, somebody argues with you. And so, but I really think if you compare the cost of a barndo to the cost of a house built by a contractor, the same square footage, I think the barndo is about half as much. So if you take a 2,000 square foot house, and let's just throw out a number, and this is where you'll argue with me, but say you build your 2,000 square foot barndo with garage for $150,000, turnkey, finished, move in. That same project, if it's a house, is going to cost you probably $300,000. Now, at our current interest rates, what that amounts to is that the amount of your mortgage just your mortgage, not the insurance, not the taxes, is going to be like, on $150,000, it's going to be like $900 a month versus $1,800 a month. Multiply that by 12 months, that's $10,800 a year. And like my dad said about the federal government, you know, $1 million here and $1 million there, it all adds up. Now we say $1 billion here, $1 billion there, it all adds up, or even $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there, it all adds up. It's amazing. But anyway, and so that's why barn doors are so popular. And you know, so you know, the great thing is you get a frame. You know, we build the frame and then you fill it in, and it's just a great way that you can build it. You can do a lot of the work yourself, whether it's framing, whether it's sheetrock for some of you really hardy do-it-yourselfers, or painting, insulation. It's just flooring. A lot of people put down tile and stuff, and so it's a great way. It's a way people can build a nest egg instead of being house poor, which a lot of people are. And get that big note and pay that big note, and that's all they can afford. So anyway, that's Barndo land where I spent a lot of time as a child. And then the next thing I wanted to show you was, so we have two projects that Mallett built. This is one of them, these two photos here, which is this is a barndo, and just really nice photos here, you know, because these photos have landscaping, because we don't get a lot of after the fact photos. We need to do a better job here at Mallett, so we're getting some after the construction is finished, and showing those to you, because a lot of times we show you the photos that the contractor took, and of course that's in the midst of construction when you got piles of trash out in front, like the Wells photo that you just saw. But this one's all finished with landscaping, and it looks so nice. And this owner's so happy, because not only does he have a porch with rocking chairs, not only does he have landscaping, but he has money in his pocket. Okay, and so this is one of those projects. And then this is the other one. This project was built around Kentwood, and this is when it's being built. That's one of our typical photos where stuff's laying all over the place. And there it is when it's in the midst of the framing. And then this is the project after the plumbing was installed, after the concrete has been installed. And this is when it was before. I'm going in reverse direction here. This is after it was graded, prior to the concrete. And this is when all the plumbing was being installed for the barndo. And there you see everything typical about our building, our post protectors, our wall girts at 30 inches on center, our windows, etc. And then this is a photo of the house after it's finished. Once again, it looks so nice with these wooden shutters and with these stained posts. Probably what they did there, and let's see something. Let's see if we can go back and figure this out. Let's see, I don't think I have. Yeah, you see, okay, notice this. See our post? See the post protectors on the front? Okay, remember that, okay? Just for 5 seconds. I know I might be asking a lot. But see these posts, they look fatter, so what do? Well, what he did was he wrapped our post with 1-bys, and then he stained them, and then he put this decorative finish trim on the top and the bottom, And then he covered the ceiling with that same stained lumber, and that's how he got that look. And it's really pretty. And these shutters he made himself, it looks like, and stained them. And so it's really a nice looking picture, and it even has a rooster. It's really good. So, and then this is another photo of this house, just a great looking house. Up around where my family's from, around the Kentwood area, off of Walker Road. And so my great uncle, my great aunt, Zoe Fassell, married Vardaman Walker, and he lived up there around Walker Road. And he was actually a contractor back in the day, back in the 30s and 40s, and he built a lot of the dairy barns up around Kentwood. So, but anyway, this is just a beautiful house, and a beautiful barn dough. And once again, here's a guy. He's got a porch, got a beautiful house in a beautiful part of the country, and he's got money in his pocket. So that's it. And this is a drone photo of that house. Just beautiful house. There's one more photo of it. That's all I have for today. But the other thing I wanted to tell you, strangest thing, you know, I live in a subdivision. I live in a town. And I was so surprised. Yesterday afternoon, I was driving back from around Madisonville, and on the side of the road there was a wild turkey. That just amazed me. And of course, all of Louisiana is like that. It's just busting out with wildlife, and I really enjoy wildlife. A lot of people just think I'm goofy when it comes to that, but you know, so this time of the year, the baby birds are being born, and in our subdivision, they have killdeers. Those are the little birds that walk, and they go beep, 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 beep. And well, they have babies this time of the year. And it's so cute to see these little bitty guys, maybe 3 inches tall, walking around the grass, you know. And they're having babies, and the geese are sitting on their nest, and I don't know what they're sitting on, maybe a rock, maybe it's an egg, I don't know, I don't ever see. But last night I was fishing late, and I almost had an altercation with Mr. and Mrs. Goose. I had to go way, way around them because they were hissing at me, thinking that I was a threat to their nest. But anyway, I enjoy the wildlife, and so anyway. Well, y'all have a good week, and I'll see you next week.
Hey, this is AJ from Mallett Buildings. If you're in the market for a building, click the link below. We've got building specials ranging from big buildings to small buildings. Give us a call. We look forward to earning your business. Thank you for the opportunity.
My name is Brad Albin from Denham Springs, Louisiana. I was told by Mallett Buildings from a neighbor, come highly recommended as a quality building that would be easy to get erected. Price was important, but I knew the structure would be well built. So I was worried about the wind loads and getting approved in my area. So Mallett was important. So that whenever we started to build, my wife and children wanted a gym, and I wanted a shop. So we designated an area 20 by 40 for them, a gym as a family and friends, whoever wanted to come over. And then I needed a work area and a shop to put my equipment and materials. I choose Mallett every time. The price is unbeatable, and the quality and the relationships that I've formed while we were building is unmatchable. For sure, I didn't have any problems anywhere along the way. Everything went smooth. I would do it all over again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Darrell. We appreciate you as always. Guys, as you can tell, obviously today we are doing something a little different. We are doing this portion of the live at the end today. So we're gonna try something new. We're gonna see if you guys like it. We're gonna put the information at the front and then what's going on at Mallett on the back end for this week. Let us know what you think. Trying a lot of new things with the live, so if you like it, let us know. If you don't like it, let us know. We're always adjusting and always making things different, making things new, just trying to find better ways to serve and educate you, the audience, and make sure everybody's happy. If that sounds good, go ahead and leave a thumbs up on the video, and let's hop into the rest of what's going on at Mallett this week. So as always, where's Mallett? We kicked off the week with 108 different jobs from Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. We are all over the place, you guys. 80 of those jobs are in Louisiana, here in our home state. Everything from delivery, materials on the ground, in construction, inspections, forming, plumbing, concrete, gutters, control joints, electrical, HVAC, and red tags, you guys. This is truly everything from start to finish and after the finish, because we're gonna go back in and make sure everything is perfect before we call the job done. Moving right along to Texas, 26 jobs this week. We're gonna have, again, delivery on the ground, in construction, forming, plumbing, concrete, gutters, control joints, electrical, HVAC, and red tags happening in Texas as well. We love seeing that. And there's a lot more dots in a central area as there usually is. We have some spread out as well. So these are both awesome trends. It's good to see more buildings going up in the Texas area. Then as always, we have some in Mississippi also. You've seen Where's Mallett? Let's talk about why Mallett. Excuse me. So why Mallett? Let's start with the Rival Series. As you know, the Rival Series is our response to the budget builds that the competitors are doing. In all honesty, we don't want you to buy the Rival Series, not because it's a budget or it's a cheaper price point or whatever the reason may be. The truth is, we understand the quality and the difference in the Mallett Classic and the Rival. Now we know an Elite is probably not right for everybody. That price point's a little higher. Now, when you talk about the value, you talk about what goes into the buildings, that price point, though justified, again, it may be out of some people's price range, which in the ultimate grand scheme of things is where the Rival Series came from. But the difference in a Rival and a Classic is only a couple $1,000s. And like we always say, I encourage you to talk to a building specialist, see what they have to say, and talk about the pros, the cons, and what is truly in that $3,000 to $4,000 difference in the Rival and the Classic. Now, the Classic is our entry-level building, and as you can tell from the specs listed here, and we're going to talk about them soon, it's far superior than anyone else's best building. So this is based on those quotes, those interactions with customers, and what we know to be some of the better builds from the people in the area. Let's talk about this. The Rival Series, 29 gauge metal, 4-on-12 roof pitch, 2x6 common flat trusses, 130 mile-an-hour wind load rating, no uplift control, and the posts are gonna go directly into the dirt or the gravel. Now, why is that important? We're gonna talk about that on the Classic side, but like Mr. Darrell said earlier, hold that thought for 5 seconds. 2x8 headers, 3,000 PSI concrete, no ground protection, a limited warranty, I believe it's 2 years, and number 2, untreated generic lumber. Now, there are things you can upgrade on the Rival Series to make it a better building. But don't get me wrong, the Rival is a good building. It will get the job done, and as I would tell you with anyone you're shopping with, it's probably gonna be a building that'll store things, again, get the job done. It'll be good enough. It's gonna meet code, meet the standards, and it'll be 4 walls and a roof. We recognize that. We know it's gonna be a building built. But why stop there? When you can have an over-engineered masterpiece, and I say over-engineered as a tremendous compliment because the time and dedication that goes into that is mind-boggling to me. Now, the Mallett Classic, we talked about the specs are that much better for not that much more. Let's discuss. 26 gauge metal is standard on every Mallett building, as is a 5-on-12 roof pitch. That 5-on-12 roof pitch is going to be a little bit steeper. For every 12 inches, you're going to go up an extra foot. That's going to give you a higher pitch on the roof, more steep. It's going to allow for better runoff of water and debris, helping prevent clogs, leaks, and anything that could mess up the roof like that. You're going to have 2x6 cathedral trusses. So here at Mallett, as a truss manufacturer ourselves, we are able to create things that most people can't even purchase. Some of those being our cathedral trusses. And when we get to the signature and elite packages, that's where it really gets to be extra, because we have 2x8, not just 2x6, 2x8 scissor trusses. That's going to give you much more headroom, much more durability. But even here on the Classic, we have the 2x6 cathedral trusses. So where the common flat trusses is going to be standard here and with most competitors, cathedral truss is standard at Mallett because we have the ability to do so. Now, those trusses are going to be third-party inspected to ensure quality, controlled throughout the entire process, as well as meeting all the standards we say we're going to meet. They inspect everything from the truss plant itself, to the cutters, to the wood, to the finished products, and everything in between, you guys. So quality is always ensured on that. Now, our buildings begin at 140 miles an hour for the wind ratings on the building. If you get to the elite, you get 160 on the building and 170 on the roof system, which is amazing. But here on the Classic, we have 140, which is already 10 miles an hour more than the Classic and many competitors. Here in the Gulf Coast region, that 10 miles an hour is so important. It could be what makes or breaks your building. Now, speaking of making and breaking a building, we have the Mallett cable lock system. This is going to be what holds those buildings down. So in the event of a hurricane, we're going to have what's called uplift, and that's when the wind is going to go and rush into a building. Say a window breaks, a door goes down, a roll-up door malfunctions, whatever it is in 130, 140 mile an hour winds. Who knows what's going to happen, but say wind gets in your building, and it's going to want to find a way to leave. So that wind's going to rush in and up, almost creating a parachute effect on your building, causing what's called uplift. The control is the cable lock system. It is going to be an 1/8-inch aircraft cable that is woven throughout the entirety of the building, connecting post to post. It's going to connect through some eye bolts that are screwed in to the base of every 6x6 post around the entirety of the building. That's going to be locked in, and then on top of that, the concrete, in this case a 4-inch 4,000 psi microfiber reinforced concrete, I might add, will be poured on top of those cables, and once it hardens, it'll be locking it all into place. With post-frame construction, the weight of the building, there's no weight on the slab itself. It's what's called a floating slab. So all the structural weight will be going into the post, which is why these, let's see, I don't see it. Concrete under every post is so important. So with all the weight of the building going on the post, you're going to want a firm foundation, something solid underneath those posts, not just dirt or gravel, because that weight is going to be pushing down, and if you're not reinforced with some concrete, like this concrete pad, which is an 80-pound bag of concrete in every post hole, your building will eventually start to sag, sink, or become unlevel. This helps prevent that, as does the Mallett cable lock system and the prevention of the building going flying away. So keep that in mind as well. We're also going to have 2x12 headers as opposed to 2x8, so you get a good extra bit of beef there to make that roof that much more stout. You're also going to have skirt board guards for ground protection. As Mr. Mallett Mike showed off in one of our videos last week, that is an extra wall purlin that goes around the perimeter of the building, protecting and giving some ground protection from the elements. You're going to have a 4-year workmanship warranty standard going up to a 10-year on the elite building. You're also going to have #1 MCA ground treated kiln dried lumber, everything from the posts, the girts, the purlins, the rafters, anything on that building that's wood, it's going to be #1 MCA ground treated kiln dried lumber. That means it is treated for ground protection for wood destroying insects. It is going to be heat dried, kiln dried, to pull all the excess moisture out. So you're no longer working with wet wood, you're working with scientifically heated, dried wood. So when it's in the elements, it's not going to contract, dry, warp, splinter. The screws won't pull out because that process has already been taken care of. So what you're getting is the final product. Love, love, love that feature. Also, we have in-house engineering. Again, you saw Mr. Darrell earlier. He talked a lot about the engineering that goes into these buildings and what makes them so special. But the in-house engineering is going to be every part of the process, start to finish. They're going to be overseeing the entirety of it to make sure your building meets every standard and code set in place. Now, when you are looking for a Mallett building, be sure you understand when you shop here every single day, you're gonna get $500 off. If you are a healthcare worker, first responder, military personnel, or teacher and or educator, we appreciate what you guys and gals do. We thank you so much for the service you provide to the community and those in it. So every day you can get $500 off just by doing what you do, by being you. Now, if you're also looking to upgrade to a signature or elite building, we have Tiger Cash. So if you comment cash on this video here, it's like $250 a word. Price is right in here. So we want to give you $1,000 off your elite or signature building. Now keep in mind this does not apply to specials or promotions because as you're about to see, the promotions are phenomenal, the specials are great, and we can't wait to show you some savings. However, Tiger Cash is also available every single day for a regular priced building. Keep that in mind, it's $1,000 off. Now, speaking of those specials and promotions, let's talk about this week's here in April. So we have two options for you. They are both elite buildings, the best of the best. You're gonna get with either of these buildings, 2 3x5 windows, 2 12x10 roll-up doors, single bubble insulation throughout. You're gonna get gutters included. You're gonna have post protectors, which will prolong the life of the post up to 500 years per the Post Protector website. Mr. Darrell showed off those earlier. They are sleeves that go over the base of the post to give it that extra protection. Not only is it ground treated, also has a sleeve, which is a post protector. 5x12 cathedral trusses, 2x8s. Number 1 MCA ground treated kiln dried lumber, 6-inch 4,000 PSI microfiber reinforced concrete, the almighty Mallett cable lock system, 160 mile an hour wind rated building, 170 rating on the truss system, concrete pads under every post, as well as double 2x12 headers. And these customers did not choose so, but you also have the option for wainscoting. You're gonna get ridge vents as well. And this is the elite building, you guys. It is the best of the best. Where else can you find 160 mile an hour wind rating on the building, 170 on the roof system? That's about as stout as it gets. But let's talk about these specials. So a 40x60x12, large building, great size, very popular. You're gonna get a free 10-foot gable extension. So it's like you're getting a 40x70 at this point, you guys. So you get a 40x60 building, you get a free 10-foot extension. That's up to an $8,600 savings. So that's value, you guys. Almost $10,000 worth of value just for getting a 40x60 that you were already gonna get. But now you get an extra 10-foot and almost $10,000 in value added to that building. So that's extra equity, extra value, extra building. So don't miss out on that. And over here, if you want a little smaller, 1,500 square foot, 30x50, you can get that with a 10-foot gable extension as well. So again, you're gonna get a $6,450 savings, $6,450, almost $7,000 worth of savings right here, just for getting a building you were already looking at, because you get, again, an additional free 10-foot of gable extension. So that 30x50 becomes a 30x60 at this point. So you're seeing your options, and that's gonna get you from $61,512 for the 40x60 to $46,740 for the 30x50, you guys. Two great options, one amazing building, 1 week only. So this sale is gonna be this week only. Don't miss out. If you were in the market at all, be sure to comment cash, get $1,000. And if you want one of these specials here, these are available for these phenomenal prices as well. Let me see if you can see them all with me. There you go. That's the prices. There we go. They're awesome. Don't miss out. This is the elite building, you guys. Best building in the business. Definitely best in the area, best in the country. I dare to say so. Be sure to check it out. If you have any questions, give us a call at 337-214-0428, and a building specialist will be in touch with you to talk about your new elite building. Now, oldie but a goodie, we have the Cajun Oasis Classic, you guys. This one is special because a 30x50x12, 1,500 square foot of awesomeness for $49,999. Now, what does this include to make it so awesome? It also has the single bubble insulation, just as the elite building does. This is going to come with a climate control package and a 5-ton unit and a basic electrical package. So you're going to get lights, plugs, the electricity, everything you need. All you have to do is hook up your utilities, turn the lights on, and you're going to have heated and or cooled. You're going to have insulation to keep it that way throughout the winter and the summer months. Like Mr. Darrell said, it's getting hot here. It's Louisiana or Texas or Mississippi or wherever you're at. It's going to get hot. And when it does, you're going to want a building that's going to do the work it's supposed to do. This building has got you guys. But between its insulation, you could even ask about spray foam if you want. But you're going to be getting a $16,000 value. So between the $16,000, the insulation, the spray foam if you choose, the electrical package, the climate control package with this 5-ton wall-mounted unit, that sounds like a cool evening to me. So make summer right, enjoy it the right way, keep an oasis in your backyard, and don't forget to miss out, or don't miss out on the Cajun Oasis while it is around. But you've seen the Elite building, you know what the best of the best looks like. We have the Cajun Oasis in Elite as well. For $59,999, you get every single one of the Elite features we just talked about. Ridge vents, wainscot optional, but I suggest it. Gutters, post protectors, 6-inch 4,000 PSI microfiber reinforced concrete. You're gonna get windows, doors, walkthroughs. You're gonna get 160 mile an hour wind rated building, 170 mile an hour wind rated roof system. You're gonna get a climate control package with a wall mounted unit. You're gonna get an insulation package, a 5-ton unit, the electrical package, the lights are ready, the heating is ready, the cooling is ready, everything is ready. All that needs to be ready is you. So when you are ready, give us a call, talk to a building specialist, or visit us online at mallettbuildings.com. We can take care of you on the phone, over the internet, however it is, we can make sure you get one of these buildings before it is too late. So don't miss out. Now, when you are shopping for buildings, of course we want you to choose us, and even if you are, please run the test that we like to call the 5 red flags. Consider these hurdles to get over before you finally come to a decision on your builder. Because you're gonna do reviews for little things, $100, $50, a couple $100 here, whatever, a TV. If you're ordering online, you're gonna be checking reviews most likely. An investment of this size should not be any different. Now we understand $30, $40, $50, $60, $70,000 plus whatever it may be isn't just pocket change, and it's gonna be an investment for your property. So do your due diligence. This is how. Red flag number 1, check out their years in business at the Secretary of State website. This is important because first off, if they don't show up on the Secretary of State website, they're not a business. But secondly, years in business is not only an accomplishment as a business owner, but it shows everyone and the owner themselves how, what's the word I'm looking for? It shows longevity. It shows adaptability. It shows growth. Because if you're able to stay in business, let's say 27 years, you're obviously doing something right and you've learned a thing or two. So everyone has to start somewhere. Even Mallett started at day one at one point 27 years ago. But understand when you're making these investments, there's a reason the people have been in business as long as they have, and some are just starting. So understand everyone starts from somewhere, but on an investment of this size, you want to talk to the person who's leading the industry. Or if you're not going to go with Mallett, which we hope you do, but be sure who you are going with is at the very least registered at the Secretary of State website. And if they are, you also want to check the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors, the LSLBC. You hear us talk about this all the time, and make sure they have the appropriate contractor's license, whether it be residential, commercial, whatever your project requires, make sure they have those licenses as well. Because if they do not, they should not be doing and cannot be doing work on your property. If there's ever a legal issue, you will find yourself in a lot of costly trouble just trying to navigate that avenue, because that's a difficult road to travel. Now, while you're at the LSLBC, please be sure to check out for contractor violations. If they're licensed, if they have the right contractor's license, be sure they're ethical and good to work with people, because when they break the law, they get contractor violations. This is unfortunately very common in this industry. We're proud to say here at Mallett we have 0 contractor violations in our entire 27 years of business. I don't know of anyone else who can say that, but I know of a lot of people who have to say they have contractor violations, and it doesn't make me happy, doesn't bring me joy. I am happy that we don't have any here at Mallett though, because it's just not the best. But moving right along, reviews on the BBB and Google, the Better Business Bureau, you guys, we are A+ rated and accredited with the BBB, and we take that in pride because we understand not everyone holds those ratings. And between the BBB and Google, we have over 700 customer reviews, you guys, verified reviews from you, the public, who have had their experience with Mallett. And I'm incredibly proud to say over 98% of those reviews are positive 5-star reviews, which is unheard of. With that many reviews, of course there's going to be some bad ones, but the overwhelming amount of them that are positive makes me happy at my core. So if you want to see what those are about, see what other customers experienced and how their journey went, please be sure to read those reviews. We also very much encourage you to check out anyone else you're considering doing business with and their reviews. If they have any, make sure they're positive, because this is how people have experienced this company. As someone in the media and marketing department, I read a lot of reviews, both ours and other people's, and I'm proud to say I love our reviews, you guys. So thank you so much, and we also encourage you to check out the ones that aren't so lovely, because it shows you how we handled the process, how we handled the aftermath of whatever the situation was, and hopefully other companies can say the same thing, but if not, that could be a red flag. Finally, number 5, we have visiting the contractor's facility. This is a red flag because, first and foremost, a lot of people are simply middlemen. You may have companies that are just purchasing from outside sources, and they're really bringing you a kit, and they're doing it for you. Now, hear me out. When we deliver everything, it's like receiving a kit as well, but you can know it all came from Mallett. Your trusses were built in-house, engineered and designed and fit for your building. They weren't just purchased and some other materials slapped around it. You didn't buy 3 or 4 Lego kits and put the pieces together, hope it looks good. Everything was specifically and meticulously designed and engineered for your specs, location, building, and preference. Not everyone else can say that. They may have a pretty showroom, but they're ultimately just a retail store. Here at Mallett, we are the producer, the retailer, everything. It's just so cool to have everything in-house and see that whole process happen here, between the engineers, the designers, the planners, the scheduling department, the builders, the truss plant, the gutter plant, the roll form plant, which is coming along, guys. It is worth stopping by and seeing, even if you don't want to do business with us. I highly recommend you come and see the facility in person, get the tour. It's 15-20 minutes tops. It's a large facility, but they've got that tour down, you guys. So come check it out. Don't be doing business in someone's front seat. That's what Mr. Trent likes to say, and I happen to agree. Like I said, everyone starts somewhere, but once you see the facility, I really don't think you'll be going anywhere else, because you'll be blown away not only by everything we got going on, but by the people too. So come in, shake some hands, say hello, and can't wait to see you. But that is it for today's episode. Again, thank you very much to Mr. Darrell for all of his helpful information. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed anything in today's video, please be sure to leave a like on it and share it with a friend who might find it helpful. And if you're in the process of looking for a shop, workshop, in-law suite, a barndominium even, whatever it may be that's post-frame construction, save this video for later and refer back to it whenever you are ready to begin the process. Whether it be for the red flags or the helpful information from Mr. Darrell, we love to be a part of your process. And if you have any questions, please be sure to give us a call or visit us online at mallettbuildings.com. We can't wait to earn your business. I'm Tyler, and we'll see you tomorrow.